2:47 p.m., Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. My flight is delayed, which is fine, because it's going to give me the time that I need to figure out how to structure this review. So yeah, welcome to Atlanta. I don't know about you, but I love this airport. My name is Scott. I am the founder and author of SANspotter.com, and yes, I am in my happy place. I mean, what is there not to love about big airports and Chick-fil-A? Anyway, back to what I was saying about needing more time. I'm flying home to San Diego on a Delta 767-300 in first class today, but it'll be in one of those old, coffin-style Delta One business class seats. So the question is, do I do this as a first class review or a Delta One review? For what it's worth, my ticket says first class and not Delta One, so I'm leaning towards judging this experience as domestic first class. By the way, shout out to whoever it was who proposed the idea of turning this section of the underground walkway into a scene straight out of Jurassic Park. It's weird, but it works. And check this out. Notifications from Delta when the plane arrives at the gate. That's pretty cool, and I couldn't resist going back upstairs to get some footage of it. Looks like it's N196DN today, another 24-year-old 767-300ER that has been with Delta since new, just like the last one that I flew on. Other than that, it's pretty dead here at gate A25. The vibe here feels very much defeatist, and it kind of looks as if everyone has accepted the fact that it's going to be a late arrival into San Diego tonight. Oh well, at least Delta is keeping us up to date with all the latest info as it happens. While we're waiting, it's probably a good idea to let you know that the Delta 767-300s do not have and will not get the newest Delta One seats. What you're about to see is probably not what Delta wants me to show you. These 767s will be leaving the fleet in a few years, and they are about as good as they're ever going to get. Much like me, I guess. It's all downhill from here. Anyway, boarding started just about an hour and a half behind schedule, and FYI, Delta boards diamond medallions along with the first class cabin. Remember to have some patience, smile and nod to your fellow passengers, and refrain from using an aggressive elbow or two unless absolutely necessary. Why, yes, I will take a disinfectant wipe, thank you very much. And, well, here it is. Welcome to Delta One on the 767-300, or in today's case, first class. Those of you who have been following me from the beginning know that I've already reviewed these seats. Back then, it was a true Delta One review, complete with a full meal service and proper blankets and pillows on a flight from JFK to LAX. Today, it's the exact same seat, but without any of the extra amenities that would make this really special. This is going to be a nearly 5-hour flight out to San Diego this evening, and I'm going to tell you right now, the only food we're going to get on this flight is snacks, and no blankets and pillows will be provided. So yeah, this is basically just a really fancy domestic first class seat today, which is fine, because this beats the crap out of A321 or 737-800 first class. I will say, however, that these aren't very good premium business class seats anymore. They used to be, but they haven't aged very well, and holy crap, dude, that cough. It's a miracle that I haven't got COVID yet. Anyway, the technology is a bit dated, and the services are starting to look a little crusty, and I'm also not a fan of how open and exposed these seats are, but as a domestic first class seat, I kind of feel stupid for being so critical. For a 5-hour flight, I don't see any reason to avoid 767-300 first class. Yet. I know. Those are bold words considering that we haven't even pushed off the gate. At least the safety video has been updated since the last time that I tried these seats. And speaking of the seats themselves, even though these will not be replaced with the newer and more enclosed Delta One seats, they will be resurfaced, if that's the correct terminology. I think there's one 767 that has been upgraded with the new seat coverings, and I can only assume that's the plan for the rest of the fleet. But what do I know? Delta has never once reached out to me with insider information, and there's probably no chance of that ever happening, especially considering how much I poo-pooed on their Comfort Plus product in my last video. As usual, there's always lots to see as we taxi out to the runway, and it's always a treat to roll past the Delta Tech Ops hangar, especially if the main doors are open. Scheduled flying time across the country to San Diego this evening is 5 hours and 2 minutes, which is kind of long for a flight from Atlanta to San Diego. Headwinds like a mofo. Well, that was certainly one of the most picturesque takeoffs I've experienced in a while. Holy crap. Inside, picturesque is not exactly the word I would use to describe this cabin. Seriously though, with light like this, it was really hard for me to stay focused and start getting the content that I needed for this review. I tried, like really hard, but the videographer in me just can't resist these kinds of lighting conditions. Hold on. Let me enjoy this for just a second longer. Okay, I'm ready. Let's do this. Kicking this review off with a bang is a quick overview of the first class loo, which is pretty basic, but there's mood lighting, and one of those confidence-crushing mirrors that exaggerates every blemish and defect on your face. Yes, wearing a mask can be annoying at times, but it probably saved me from feeling less about myself just now. As you might have guessed, with this being such a vintage seat, the power outlets didn't work. That's fine. I had pretty low expectations going into this, which was very important because this right here is dinner for a 5-hour flight in first class. Of course, I knew that there wouldn't be real food served on this flight, hence the Chick-fil-A footage you saw earlier, so I was definitely prepared for this. And what this particular box is some sort of charcuterie board thing in a box. So yeah, there's lots of stuff in here. Everything is individually packaged. Got some cheese there, which is good. And I think this is olives in a bag, of course. And got some nuts. And finally, what is this? Oh, it's some sort of mystery meat thing. That actually looks pretty good. What the heck happened to Delta? I mean, I've flown between Atlanta and San Diego countless times over the past 15 years or so, and up until just recently, we always got a full meal in first class. And most of the time, it was actually pretty good food. Is this the new normal for Delta? I hate to say it, but I think it is. Oh, and the crackers? They're stale. Okay, enough complaining. Let's turn this review around. I'm going to start by telling you how much I like these noise-canceling headphones that Delta provides in these first-class seats. And even though the video screen is smaller and not as bright as the ones in the newer seats, Delta Studio is... Hold on a second. Okay, the video screens don't seem to be all that responsive. I guess that tells you everything you need to know about the in-flight entertainment. So, for anyone keeping score so far, both the meal service and the in-flight entertainment have been disappointing. However, for as old and crusty as these seats are, they're actually really comfortable, and it's pretty nice to be able to lie completely flat and stretch out. Also, the cabin crew on this flight were pretty good about coming through the cabin on a regular basis with drink refills. And I kid you not, as I was getting this footage of my empty cup, a flight attendant appeared over my left shoulder and asked me if I'd like a refill. I wasn't trying to look desperate, but apparently that's a pretty good way to get another drink, I guess. Any guesses as to what city it is that we are flying over right now? Anyone? That's Phoenix. And through the magic of video editing, we are now on the descent into San Diego, and it's time to get things buttoned up here in the cabin. I've got to say that despite the lack of proper food and a functioning entertainment system, Delta 767-300 First Class is the best way to fly from Atlanta to San Diego, or pretty much any other transcontinental route for that matter. Except for New York to LA or San Francisco, because on those routes, you'll have much better options. In that case, I'm always going to choose JetBlue Mint over Delta or anyone else. Welcome to rainy and humid San Diego, said pretty much nobody ever, except for me whenever I make a video here. Longtime viewers of my channel know that I've got a pretty bad habit of doing this, and I really am trying my best to show San Diego in the best way possible. It's just bad luck, really. Huge thanks to each and every one of the people on this list. These are the SANspotter patrons, the people who generously support the channel and help me to keep providing entertaining and useful content. To Aaron Slater, David Kelly, Riley Wingo, and everyone else on this list, I just can't thank you enough. So, that's it. That wraps up another trip, and more importantly, the last one of 2021. I really have no idea what's in store for 2022, but until then, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.